It seems the Marvel Cinematic Universe is expanding into the X-Men, not just with Deadpool and Wolverine, but with a film specifically for the group of mutant heroes. However, the announcement of the screenwriter is giving people a little bit of pause. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All right, diving right into it. It seems that besides Deadpool and Wolverine, which will be the MCU's first foray into the X-Men universe, that they are also planning on doing an X-Men film. Now, again, this announcement, man, it feels like it's getting further and further away. Let's say 8 years ago would have just gotten me so freaking excited. It seemed like comic book movies were the big thing that would allow me to escape from the mundane path that my life is on. But that's no longer the case with Bob Iger and the CEO of Disney, and Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios. They seem to be determined to make the fans feel bad for liking the things that they like through editorial changes at the comic book level to script writing changes to the film level. And with the Fox X-Men universe, I thought it was good. I even like some of the films most people don't like. However, it did end on a putter, not in an award-winning kind of way. And so a lot is riding on the X-Men's introduction into the MCU. And it seems that they have selected, Disney being, have selected a screenwriter for the X-Men film. So this is according to Bounding into Comics. In making their first official move, and an admittedly uninspiring one at that, I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to continue, towards bringing the titular team into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Disney has reportedly entered talks with The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes co-screenwriter Michael Lesslie. Is it Leslie or Leslie? I don't know. Correct me in the comments. To have him pen the script for their upcoming X-Men film reboot. Per Deadline's Justin Kroll, Leslie and Marvel are currently in negotiations regarding his possible assignment to Marvel's Merry Band of Mutants. And though the deal has yet to be finalized, it appears current expectations are that its inking is all but inevitable. Like many of Marvel Studios' recent hire, Leslie's resume is to say the least lacking. Aside from the latest Hunger Games entry, the only other notable writing credit to Leslie's names are for Michael Fassbender's 25 outing as Macbeth and his abysmal 2016 appearance in Assassin's Creed, both of which he provided the screenplay for. Additionally, Leslie has also served as producer on a smattering of different film projects, including Errol Maris directed Steve Bannon bio-director American Dama, the IMAX original film Lockdown, which was a terrible movie, by the way, starring Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Amazon Prime's Viggo Mortensen-led dramatization of the Tham Luang Cave Rescue 13 Lives. Further, it should be noted that given his recent work adapting a YA novel for teenage girls, Leslie's all but confirmed hiring for X-Men lends credence to previous rumors that the film will center on the team's female members. Okay, so there you have it. So Michael Lesslie, I wanted to confirm some of what they said in the Bounding into Comics article, and yeah, it's very lacking. Like they said, they have Macbeth, Assassin's Creed, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and The Rescue. Now, I don't know why Marvel keeps doing this. They keep selecting these trendy, young, up and coming people to write for them instead of getting seasoned screenwriters. And what's worse is he's British. Now, please note, if you're a British screenwriter, I don't mean any offense. I like many British screenwriters, including Christopher Nolan and his brother Jonathan Nolan. However, I am kind of getting tired of let's recruit British because they're British. Okay. The X-Men are an American myth retold through comic books, thanks to originally Stan Lee and later other amazing writers and artists like Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. Now, there's nothing wrong with having female characters in superhero films. You know, social media is going to throw this accusation out at nerds like me, right? Oh, you just don't like women and girls. Now, that doesn't mean that women can't like the X-Men. Obviously, they do. One of my best friends, she is an avid X-Men promoter. Recently, she's just recently got into the X-Men. Jester Bell, a friend of the channel who I've gone on several of her live streams, she is a big X-Men fan. My sister is a big X-Men fan. She tends to like, the X-Men Evolution era of the X-Men. I like the 90s era of the X-Men. Nothing wrong with that. But men do dominate these nerd spaces, and there is nothing wrong with that because there are spaces where women dominate, right? There are female spaces and there are male spaces, and yes, with entertainment there's going to be some crossover, but the fact of the matter is you're not going to win any new fans over by changing things, because the women who are fans of this stuff, who do get involved with tabletop games, with comic books, with video games, they like it as it exists. You're not going to convince them to bring their friends to see something that changes the lore. Now, obviously, when it comes to film adaptations, and I've said this many a times, nerds and geeks don't expect a perfect adaptation. We would like that, but we also understand that translating comic books into screenplays is a process, and so some things have to go along because it doesn't make sense being in a film reel as it does being in a comic book page. We understand that. But if they were smart, if this guy was smart, and listen, Michael Lesslie, I don't know if you're woke in person, maybe you're not. You wrote an adaptation of Macbeth, so maybe you're not. I don't know. But if you watch this, this is what you need to do. Because remember, they tried this with New Mutants and Dark Phoenix, and it failed. It was an abysmal failure to do a female centric X-Men thing. And by the way, the men in X-Men aren't talking about male and as a sex, it's talking about man as in mankind. So just drop the nonsense. But if you were smart, Michael, can I call you Mike? I'll call you Michael. This is what you would do. You would adapt X-Men Children of the Atom, which is kind of a retelling of the X-Men and their origin as the Founding Five. But I would add Storm in it, because I will say that Storm is awesome. So have the Founding Five, so that's Beast, Iceman, and do the original Iceman, not the Marvel Now updated version. Jean Grey, you can call her Red. That's one of her code names besides the Phoenix. Cyclops, and who am I missing? Oh, Angel. And then throw in Storm. So you've got a group of six. You've got Professor X. Now, the rumor is that Mr. Sinister is going to be the villain in this. I think that's the right move, by the way. Mr. Sinister hasn't really been in any films. I would love to see a really great, kind of terrifying actor play Mr. Sinister. Hopefully, they will get his look and his essence correct. They've failed a couple of times in that regards of trying to get the aesthetic right, like with Mystique in the X-Men reboot series after Days of Future Past. Now, however that goes, I do hope that this won't be another let's punish the fans, let's blame the fans, let's attack the fans, where they don't have whoever the star is going out. Oh yeah, the original X-Men, it was super weird. It's just they bring it all together for a home run of a film. And I don't even think it needs to be that epic, because one of the problems they did with the reboot series is they kept taking a step, taking a step, taking a step. And instead of trying to, let's start from Days of Future Past and build off on this, instead of going from that, everything had to be this world ending thing. And it made general audience members who aren't familiar with the comics confused. Like, well, we just did end of the world stuff. We need something better than just end of the world. So if I was this guy, I would do I don't want to say a street level, but definitely a smaller scale X-Men story arc. If you're going to do Mr. Sinister, you could have him trying to kidnap Cyclops and Jean Grey and trying to get their DNA, because he's obsessed with the Summers bloodline for some reason. I don't know why that is, but that's a thing with Mr. Sinister. So however that works, I think that would connect it very well. Now, they could go, because everyone's like, well, where have the mutants been all this time? They could go to a place where they weren't sure that certain enhanced people weren't mutants. Now, hopefully they don't do the ultimate version, which is, I think they use Apocalypse's cells. S.H.I.E.L.D. did. They used the Apocalypse cells to create the mutant gene. I hope that's not the case. That was a really stupid origin for the mutants. I do hope more so that they're another species of human that just have this X gene and they have powers. And they could do it where, kind of like in X-Men Evolution, the animated series, where Professor X was using his powers and using the power of Cerebro to keep humanity ignorant of mutants because he knows what that would mean. And also they could use this as a way to introduce X-Men in a more public way where people know about the mutants and whatnot. I think that would be really good because we're entering a totally different phase of the MCU right now. So they're however Avengers Secret Wars rewrites and reboots the MCU, I think that they would be smart to wait to do the X-Men after that and see where it goes. Now, however it works, I have to admit, the current state of Disney has me, like I said, it gives me pause. This guy, Michael Lesslie, maybe he's a talented screenwriter, judging from his resume here. I'm not totally convinced, but maybe he'll surprise us and he'll write a banger of a screenplay and we're all going to be really excited about it. The trailer's going to be amazing, but I just don't. All of what I said previously boils down to this. I don't trust Disney to continue to carry on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They have let us down so many times, especially when it comes to those dang TV shows they keep pushing on us. So that's what I have to say on the matter. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked that video, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're on YouTube, consider becoming a channel member. I have different tiers that have different perks, and I'm going to be doing more live streams. I'm going to be doing member access videos where you get early access before it goes public. I just recently did that, so consider joining me. And if you're watching on another platform, you don't want to support me through big tech, don't blame you. Check out my locals page. You can support me there. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute.